Hi, this is Sue Jackson, here with another Friday Reads. It's kind of casual day around here today. It's laundry day, but also I've kind of declared it me day. Um, I'm just being comfy and cozy. I'm home alone. I am not planning to leave the house. It's been a very stressful and exhausting week. I'm trying to help take care of my father-in-law while my husband's out of town. He's 96 years old, and he's in assisted living, but this week was a lot of running around to the doctor's office, the drugstore twice, out to his assisted living to visit and to drop off a prescription. And I had an unplanned dentist appointment myself and 2 Zoom meetings, which is kind of unusual for me. So, and with my chronic illness, all this stress and running around has kind of made me flare up. So I was feeling pretty rotten yesterday. So once I was done with all the errands and the meetings and everything, I just kind of declared it me time. So I am taking it easy and chilling out today. Just took a short, slow, at my own pace walk. It is a gorgeous fall day out, and we've got a beautiful nature center just a couple of miles from my house. So I just went over there and took a short walk and just immersed myself in nature. There was so much bird song, loads of songbirds in the trees. I saw a couple of cardinals, and I was very surprised by a huge blue heron that just like popped up in front of me on the trail. I wish I had been paying more attention. I did not get a picture of it. I did spot it again on the large creek that runs along the trail, but by the time I spotted it, it was taking off again and heading in the opposite direction. So anyway, it's a me day and just taking it easy and had a nice walk. And now I'm here to talk about books. Oh, and the reason I told you about the Nature Center is because I spotted something new there today. We've been going there for 30 years. We love it there. We're there all the time. But I never noticed it's got a little free library now. So I don't know when that was put up, but I was very excited to see it, and took a look at the books in it. Lots of kids' books, lots of nature books, which are really appropriate for the spot. So that was my trip to the Nature Center. Now books. I am currently reading. I am into nonfiction November now, and I'm currently reading No Cure for Being Human by Kate Bowler. The subtitle is And Other Truths I Need to Hear. So Kate Bowler she does one of my favorite podcasts, probably my favorite. Her podcast is called Everything Happens. You should definitely check it out. This season, she's interviewing celebrities, but sometimes she interviews just regular people. She herself is living with incurable stage 4 cancer. And that's what the book's about. But every one of her podcast episodes makes me laugh out loud, usually makes me tear up because she so understands the life experience of someone living with a chronic medical condition. And, especially this season where she's brought in some celebrities, I encourage you to go listen because it's just great and very inspiring. So I've been dying to read this. It's her new book. It was just released. So the concept behind this book and behind her podcast very much is that there are these myths we live in our society, that if you just try hard enough, you can do anything. You can be anything, you can do anything, you can achieve whatever you want. All you have to do is try. And if something goes wrong, it's your own fault. I mean, that's kind of the subtext of all of these ultra positivity kind of messages that we get in our society. You know, you can do anything, so if things go wrong, you must have done something wrong. So she's trying to bust those myths here. So her chapters are all based on like some of these positivity phrases that we hear, sort of toxic positivity. So some of her chapters are best life now, bucket lists, YOLO, you only live once, do what you love and the money will follow, things like that. But the book has a very strong narrative thread, which I love because I normally read fiction. So in here, she is telling the story of her illness, from the shocking out of the blue diagnosis through, you know, her family gathering around her and the treatments and everything else she's been through. And along the way, she covers each of these topics and explains, you know, why they're just not realistic. So it's not just for people with chronic illness. You know, as she points out, it's being human. Stuff happens in every life, and we can't always do anything about it. And that's a hard lesson to learn if you've been brought up with this concept of everything is under your control and you can do anything. And I was very much like that. I still fight that even after 19 years with chronic illness. I still fight that urge to try to control everything. And it's just not always possible, which, you know, she really brings out beautifully. I've already been laughing, I already teared up, and I'm not that far into it. I don't know if you can see, but I am also, I know some people don't like this, but I am also dog-earing like every other page, because she just keeps saying things that seem so insightful to me, things I want to remember, quotes I want to refer back to. I'm trying to see if there's anything that will... Oh, I did like this. You know, she says, because I could relate, she says, I'm slowly realizing that I have been a human bulldozer since I was a child. And she describes some examples of that. And she's from Canada originally, so she says, I always wondered if I felt so at home in America because of its famous love of efficiency, an ideal untarnished since the Industrial Revolution. So she's talking about her own life experiences, but as she is digging into these toxic positivity myths that we all live with, and they can be harmful when things happen in your life that you can't control. So I highly recommend Kate Bowler's books and her podcast, Everything Happens. And so far, I am loving this just as much as I expected to. I am also into Nonfiction November on audio. I am reading kind of a science medical book, or listening to on audio. It's called An Elegant Defense. It's got a long subtitle, so hang in there with me. An Elegant Defense: The Extraordinary New Science of the Immune System, A Tale in 4 Lives, by Matt Richtel. So, this is what it says. It's about the immune system. Now, I have a chronic immune disorder, so this is of particular interest to me, and I'm hoping I learn a little something along the way. I've tried to learn more about the immune system in the last 19 years, but the immune system is incredibly complex. It seems like the last frontier in medicine because there is so much we still don't understand about it. What I'm really loving about this audiobook, and what surprised me, is that the author is not a scientist. He's not a doctor. He is a reporter, a journalist, who knew nothing about the immune system to begin with, but who got interested because one of his best friends from childhood developed a really horrible type of cancer. And immunotherapy played a role in his treatment. So that's what got him interested. So I love the fact that he is not an expert trying to explain it to lay people. He is a layperson himself. So his explanations so far have been very clear and enlightening and fascinating. And as the subtitle mentions, A Tale in Four Lives, he is weaving into the science the story of four people whose lives have been changed because of the immune system. His friend with cancer, I think he's got a couple of people with autoimmune diseases, someone with immunodeficiency. So he looks at different case studies throughout the book, coming back to them to illustrate some of the points that he's talking about. So far, it is interesting and fascinating. I'm learning a lot, but it has also surprised me in being so engaging and easy to understand. And, I'm enjoying listening to it. So that's An Elegant Defense by Matt Richtel. That's what I'm reading this week. I would love to hear about what you're reading. Are you doing Nonfiction November? Are you reading something else this month? Let me know about it in the comments down below.